Thanks for staying with us on the Spin Room, and we're back with our weekly segment, The Observer, where we host a foreign correspondent residing here in Israel. This week, we're honored to host in studio Susanne Glass, a reporter for the German TV station ARD. Before being stationed in Israel, she was a correspondent in Vienna and the Southeast Europe correspondent, where she covered the war in Kosovo. Susanne, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
So how long have you been here in Israel covering
Actually,
this?
2 years.
2 years.
But I think the time here goes like this. Don't you think so? It's more intensive, because if I think back, I have the impression it's only 2 months.
Because you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun.
I definitely have fun.
And is that why you came? Is that why you think journalists in general come to this region and to Israel specifically?
I wouldn't say that the correspondents are coming here to have fun. Yeah?
No, that's right.
It's not. It's a very challenging job. That's why I came here. I think Israel is one of the most important, interesting regions in the world. What's happening here is spreading out all over. And this is why I came here, because you already told I was working in other crisis regions, and I thought it's very important. But you have also fun here, because the people are very nice, open-minded, and this is what I figured out from the first second when I arrived.
But you said, like you said at the beginning of your answer, that it's a very important region. However, it's a conflict that's been going on a long time.
Yes.
Do you feel people maybe losing interest in the Palestinian conflict? I mean, your viewers in Germany,
I think so.
The deja vu kind of feeling?
I think so.
Does that make you, for example, really work hard to make it more interesting?
It's very hard to keep people interested in the conflict, and it's very hard because you're always telling the same story. You know, you try to tell it another way around. But I think it's an important thing that you don't try to make it more interesting and make it maybe more intensive than it is. And I have now the feeling that here, it's maybe also a little bit led by the government, but the people also here are losing a little bit the interest in the conflict. In the conflict, I think they are used to live with it. They have they want to go forward. You know, they want to tell the story that Israel is a very developed nation. But it is definitely with a lot of new developing economy things, and I have the impression that the people
even the people here, Israelis and Palestinians, are developing like a numbness or apathy, or what?
A little bit of apathy. Really? And also you feel it with the Palestinians. You know, when after the Trump's decision of Jerusalem, we were afraid that we have now, somebody spoke about the third intifada, but nothing happened at all.
A lot of frustration on that side.
It's a very huge frustration on that side, but this is dangerous as well.
So you've been, of course, you've been here for 2 years. You said.
Yes.
What's been the most challenging story that you've covered so far?
It's very, very difficult to say. I think all the stories are very challenging. But recently I went to Gaza again to do a report about the situation in Gaza. And for me as a reporter, it was very challenging, because I had an appointment with a doctor there, and I was supposed to have a normal interview with him in the hospital. And when we arrived, he said, "Hurry up, I'm in a preparation for a surgery. A very little boy with a huge tumor in the brain, and come with me, I give you the interview during the surgery."
During the surgery?
Yes, and I was, oh my God, am I able to do this? Because I'm not a doctor and I haven't seen this before.
Of course.
But my cameraman and me, we decided, let's go in. We went in, he gave this,
and we have the footage that we can show it, right?
This is the footage afterwards, when you see me very happy. Oh yeah,
let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this. Okay, put it up.
Ein 1,5-jähriger Junge mit einem Tumor im Hirn, schon fast so groß wie sein Kopf.
Das Problem ist hier, dass wir nicht die entsprechenden Instrumente hier haben, ja?
Dann fällt der Strom aus. Alltag im Gaza-Elend.
Das ist wirklich Katastrophe, ja? Wir sind am Gehen, operieren, wir haben kein Licht hier. Das ist Katastrophe.
Und kann es dann kaum fassen. Der Junge reagiert schon wieder vollkommen normal. Der Tumor war gutartig. Er wird keine bleibenden Schäden davontragen.
Und das ist jetzt tatsächlich, und das berührt mich selbst auch sehr, der kleine Junge, dessen Operation wir gesehen haben. Ein paar Stunden später ist er wieder fit und sitzt hier.
I can really see how you took that, the emotions there, really running high.
Yes, and you can imagine, I saw a lot of things in Bosnia. I was covering the war in Bosnia, in Kosovo. I saw a lot of things, but this was, the emotions there were so high because I wasn't sure whether this guy will survive. And then we saw him like this, yes. And we also saw what's happening when you have a blackout, no electricity during a surgery.
Scary.
Yes.
How close is German media following the domestic stuff here? For example, these probes of the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Are German media consumers interested in these kinds of stories?
Yes,
Really?
yes. They are very much interested in what's happening in Israel altogether. You know, it's not only now Netanyahu's cases. They are very much interested also in what's going on in Jerusalem, because a lot of tourists are coming to Jerusalem. There are pilgrims as well.
For example, the story of the church today is probably a big story, isn't it?
This is a big story,
Really?
for sure. Yes, and the people, we are going to Easter, you know. The people are asking themselves, does it make sense to come for Easter to Jerusalem?
Exactly.
I think the church
It'll be I think so too.
I also think so, but it's the people in Germany, it's a high interest, a high interest.
Every week when we have our foreign correspondent here on The Observer, we ask to show front pages from their country of origin, and you're going to show some papers of the big stories in Germany.
What do you think, what is it?
It's not Netanyahu and it's not the church. I have a feeling it's to do with German politics a little. Let's bring it up.
Exactly.
Oh, they're going to bring it up, I hope. But maybe while they bring it up, tell us what it is. I think, here it is.
You know this lady?
I know her, the one that, I don't know exactly the one on I'm showing my ignorance. The woman on the right, I do not know.
The one on the right, we didn't know.
Oh, I'm not the only one.
Also, she was not so known in Germany as well, but she's now maybe coming after Merkel. This is, Merkel wants her to be a very important person. And she's,
to be her heir of the CDU, the Christian Democrats.
Exactly, yes, the Christian Democrats. But the story, because you were asking me, is now, we had the elections in September, and everybody was thinking it's done. You know, Merkel is the most important, powerful woman in Europe, maybe in the world. She will figure out very soon a new government, and now we are struggling. And the question is she able to have a new government pretty soon? I think we will have one, but it's not for sure now.
Look at all these are all leaders of the party? It's a very female leadership, isn't it? Is it? It's amazing.
It's amazing, but I like it. It's
fantastic. Why don't we see this in other countries? This is the leadership of the CDU, basically.
Yes, this is what Merkel did, and I think a lot of people thought she's maybe at the end of her power, but she proved that she's still a very good strategic politician.
Okay. Thank you very much, Susanne Glass, for coming to the city. It was a real pleasure. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll head over to Washington, D.C. for Raviv Reveals with Dan Raviv. Stick around.